from time to time, Matthew, what's your favorite story in all the Bible? And if I had to pick a favorite story, it would actually come from my favorite chapter, which would be Luke chapter 15. In Luke chapter 15, Jesus tells some amazing stories about things that are lost and then they're found. And within these stories, he begins to talk about the prodigal son. The prodigal son or the lost son or whatever you want to call it is about a young man who comes to his dad one day and says, "Hey Dad, I want you to give me everything that you owe me. Give me my inheritance." The interesting thing about this conversation though between him and his dad is his dad didn't owe him anything. That's the cool thing about an inheritance, is an inheritance is something you don't earn. It's something that's given to you. It's a gift. It's free. It's something that you've done nothing to deserve other than just being born, and really and truly, you had nothing to do with that. And so he goes to his dad and says, "Hey, I want you to give me everything that's coming to me. Give me my inheritance." And so his dad does, gives him his inheritance, and he takes it all, and he runs off, and he runs away. And he begins to live his life in this big city, the big city lifestyle. And he lives it up until one day all of his stuff is gone. Everything he's had is gone. I think it says that he squandered his life or his money on wild living. His brother later on in the story is going to accuse him of spending his money on prostitutes. It gives you kind of an idea of the kind of the life he decided to live while he had all of this. But after all that was gone, he finds himself in a very interesting situation. He finds himself in a pig pen. He finds himself at the lowest of the low place that he could be. There's nowhere else any worse he could be than in a pig pen. And then not only just in the pig pen, he wanted to eat the stuff that was in the pig pen. And he decides, he gets to this point of total desperation, if you will. And he says, "Man, I had it so much better at home. I could go back home, I could be a servant to my dad, and I could eat still food from my mom's kitchen, and I could still live under their roof in some shape, form, or fashion, and things would be a lot better." And so he turns around and he begins to go home. And the story says, and this is my favorite part of the story says that while he was still a long way away, his dad saw him. And it said his dad ran to him and embraced him and hugged him and kissed him and said, "Bring the best robe, put a ring on his finger." He goes, "Kill the fatted calf, for this son of mine that was gone is back." But I want to go back to this image of his dad running. I don't know about you. If you know me and you see me day in and day out, you understand I'm not a runner. And most of us, I would say probably most of us, running's not something we do very often. If you see me running, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you see me running, chances are you need to be running too, because I'm running from something. And so if you see me running, coming towards you running, just start going. Just start running with me. Don't look behind you. Let's just get where we need to get, and then I'll tell you what's going on. We don't run usually. Especially this dad, this older guy, who would have had to have picked up his long dress of an outfit, would have to held it up, would have had to tucked it in as his undergarments to take off running. Now I want you to think about that image for a second. Think about that image of a father running to his child. Better yet, think about what Jesus is really saying here. Think about this idea of Jesus, or of God rather, running to you. You see, we all have a tendency in our life to be a prodigal, to be a lost son. We all have a tendency to look at what's out there and then look at what God's given us and say, "I want what's out there. What's out there is better than what I've got right here. It looks more fun." Yeah, guess what? Temptation and sin is always going to look more fun than anything God offers you. That's why it's a temptation. But it's never full. It's never filling. It never satisfies. And this son figured that out. And so he comes and he runs home, or he comes home and his dad begins to run towards him. Have you ever seen God run for you? Because here's the cool thing about God. That if you're in that stage in your life where maybe you've stepped away, maybe you're grabbing on to those things that look a lot more fun than Jesus, if you decide to come back, God says, "I will run and meet you more than halfway." Because see, we serve a God who runs. We serve a God that says, "Hey, if you want to leave, leave. But when you come home, I'm going to run to you, and then I'm going to treat you as if you never left. That's the God that we serve. That's the God that loves us. That's the God that sent His Son for us. Is a God who will run. I don't know where you are today as you watch this thought, as you watch this video. Maybe you're in your pig pen. Maybe you're on your way to your pig pen. But I want to promise you something. If you'll turn around and start back towards God, God's going to run towards you. And isn't that a great thing? Isn't it great to know that our God runs to us? And He'll wrap His arms around us, and He'll hug us, and He'll love us, and He'll treat us as if we never left. I hope that's the God you serve. I hope that's the God you trust in. And if not, turn around and run to Him. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for